As the creation of stages continues to unfold as time goes on, there are so few stages that remain in the same spot they have been for months at this point. But Mossy Mountain is one of those few stages that fights tooth and claw to remain at the very least top 3. So what I want to do in this video is I want to go through Mossy Mountain and understand what about it is so damn amazing. A quick welcome back to those who saw the last video of the stage review. This is the second stage that we built, but canonically in the story it is the 4th stage to be played. However, since I uploaded this after playing Altitude Arc, I figured it'd be pretty sensible to also do this as the second video for the review series. So that I will do. Mossy Mountain is universally agreed to be one of our best stages, and I think the best place to start here is with its difficulty in contrast to Altitude Arc, where in Altitude Arc, that was a bit of an issue. Mossy Mountain's difficulty is said to be right where it needs to be fair, and admittedly, I agree with it. I don't have any problems with Mossy's difficulty. The rank parameters are also set to align with the difficulty of this map, and they complement each other. Because if you get a D rank on this map, chances are it's because you deserved it. You didn't play the best you could, and well, that's where you are. Champ is right where it needs to be as well. It's possible, but it requires a lot of skill. See, what's interesting about Mossy Mountain here is that it was designed with the idea of forgiveness. In this section, which you see on screen right now, yeah, it's a little bit tough, but it'll only cost you a couple seconds to get out of that situation, and then you're golden again. So, Mossy is designed with the idea of you trip, you get up, and you resume what you were doing to your heart's content. Casuals tend to love Mossy because it's a lot more laid back, and usually somebody who's on their first attempt can probably hit somewhere between a C and a B with a little bit of competency. And that's a good mark, because you don't want any players being able to get A's and S's and champs right off the hop. That defeats the purpose of a challenge. However, starting with a B, the most middle ground rank, is perfect, and a lot of players are capable of doing that in Mossy because it's not too easy, nor is it too hard. Mossy Mountain is the epitome of balance when it comes to difficulty, and I wouldn't change it for the world. With a map like Mossy Mountain, there is tons of accessibility allotted to the player, and I mean that in the sense where there's a lot of shortcuts players can take. There's a lot of decision making you have to do when playing this map. A question presents itself when you play Mossy Mountain. Would you rather take an additional risk in trying to reach a shortcut, but possibly fall off of something and lose a bit of time? Or would you rather just stick to the normal path and continue on as safely as possible? These are choices that players will think about as they play this map. And what's great about that is it gives players a sense of freedom of choice. And that's what we want. We want the player to calculate in their heads what route would be best for them. Perhaps taking a shortcut, which would theoretically save you time, cause more risk towards them and cause them to actually lose time, more time than what they would have lost if they just took the normal route in the first place. These are general factors that players have to think about in their head. And that's okay, because it's about customizing your pathway to get to the goal and get the best rank you possibly can. It's about doing your best. So now, after saying all that good stuff about the previous things that make Mossy Mountain such a good map, I wanted to talk about the aesthetic. And for something that depends on green and gray, this works impeccably well. See, regardless of where you are in Mossy Mountain, it feels lively. Now yes, we did not spend 100 hours on here just designing background elements to make it feel all that more lively, and that's okay because we didn't want to spend too much time developing the actual aesthetic that much, but it looks presentable, and in the grand scheme of things, that's all that matters. As long as you are immersed into the environment, Sav and I succeeded in providing a good color palette to this map, and I wouldn't change this. I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I know she is too. So to sum it up, Mossy Mountain is nothing short of a masterpiece. Now, I'm not going to be ludicrous and insane and say this map is perfect, because it isn't. Nothing is, for that matter. But from a color palette that complements the essence of the map, or a difficulty that's merely perfect where it is, or a continuous flow of momentum of which is available to a player from start to finish, Mossy Mountain checks all boxes required to make a really good stage, and it does it with flying colors. Regardless if you are a casual or a hardcore player, there is a place for you in this stage that you will come to thoroughly enjoy. months later of playing the stage, and I still enjoy it to this day, and I've went as far as to score straight champs on every mission in this stage because I care about it so damn much. Some of you who listen to this might be familiar with the first the worst, second the best sort of saying. And there's not a better analogy for the relationship between Altitude Arc, which was the first and is the worst, to Mossy Mountain, which is second and the best. So with my disbelief in the concept of perfection, the last thing I have to do here is stand toe-to-toe with Mossy Mountain, looking at it dead in the eye, and say, with pride, my final rating for Mossy Mountain is a 9.9 out of 10 S+ tier.